Welcome everyone. I am Shushmita from TMC Kolkata as a clinical hemat department, and I am the moderator of this session. So it's very nice, or I'm very glad to see you over in this platform. So which is a one-stop solution for the for kind of this webinar, for conferences, and also for the NGOs, like you people are going to help the patient or caregiver, so for their better future, for their better treatment. So we have decided that to give a virtual platform which is robust and which you can connect anytime with you all guys. So this is a must useful platform, so you can go through all these things. So for habituate with these things, so let me introduce Ms. Achal Bhattacharya, who is the CEO of, and the Lymphomap is the product of their, one of the finest product of them, and I am obliged that I meet Achal, and I will introduce her, and she will give a short introduction about these things and how digital health ecosystem will grow up in our country and its future, and it will and you guys will grow up with these things. So over to you, Achal.
Okay, thank you so much, Sushmita. And hi, everyone. I'm so glad to see you all using our virtual video conferencing platform. I'm very, very excited. So I'll just give a very brief 5 minutes intro of what exactly Lymphomap is. So Lymphomap is an artificial intelligence and machine learning powered digital health ecosystem, as Sushmita just mentioned. And our mission at Lymphomap, so Lymphomap, actually we're a separate company as well. So our mission is to successfully treat cancer and other fatal diseases using artificial intelligence and machine learning, and to also become a global leader in the field of AI-driven precision medicine. We already have created a platform that has a niche online professional network of doctors, oncologists, researchers, and experts in the medical industry. Now, the point of our network, or our network of members, will be able to use our remote workspace and use AI and machine learning models for the advancement of research in cancer and other rare illnesses treatment. Now, Lymphomap is taking a very different approach when it comes to artificial intelligence and machine learning in the healthcare industry. So instead of focusing on cancer or a rare illness diagnosis, Lymphomap's focus is on using these two disruptive technologies for the illnesses treatment and the dilemmas faced by clinicians. So we understand that there are numerous problems visible in the industry, ranging from healthcare accessibility, especially in rural communities. There's a staggering ratio between doctors and patients in developing countries, India being one of them, and there are gaps in research due to the absence and presence of big data. So the point of Lymphomap is that we want to assist oncologists, doctors, researchers, even NGOs and organizations within the industry concerning precision medicine and treatment protocols, and eventually support systems and treatment therapies. So again, all using artificial intelligence and machine learning models. So the point of Lymphomap, to kind of clear out all the fluffiness, is just to give back to the community and help in every way we can. Now, obviously, Lymphomap is extremely technical and it's catered to experts and professionals in the healthcare industry. Sorry, I'll just say that again. So Lymphomap is, of course, extremely technical, and it's catered for professionals and researchers and experts, as I just mentioned. But what we're doing and what's going to be under Lymphomap is LBIL. And LBIL is, the name itself says it, Lymphomap Biotech India Limited. So it's specifically designed and created for all of you guys, NGOs, organizations, patients, and the public in general. So just like how technical Lymphomap is, LBIL will be accessible for the global market. Now, LBIL is also going to be an AI-powered and machine learning-powered globally networked virtual hospital on the cloud. That is just for anyone who's interested in knowing a bit more about AI. But bottom line is that it will contain telemedicine facilities, and it will act as a digital front door for patients because we particularly designed it for patients' support so that patients connect with either their peers or other patients, and not just locally but internationally, and connect with experts in the industry from all over the world. So there'll also be an accessible patient data portal. That's more so for the doctors who will be interacting with patients, but there will be cross linkages with hospitals and diagnostic labs. Again, all on LBIL. So we're currently getting that set up, and we're going to launch that really, really soon. So at the heart of LBIL, again, all under Lymphomap, there will be support groups for patients. As I just mentioned, patients can communicate amongst each other and also communicate with therapists and social workers. I mean, we obviously understand how important it is for patients to have and receive these support groups and basically have an outlet to express one's trauma, mental health, and depiction of experiences. So we understand how important it is for patients to express themselves and get the attention and care that they need, whether it's during treatment or post-treatment. So LBIL will be that outlet for the patients. And finally, we also want LBIL to be that exclusive platform for NGOs where collaborations, including video conferences, webinars, and whatever other events NGOs and organizations would like to host can all be done on the platform itself for your benefit. So there will be an app. We're currently developing an app, just like Lymphomap, we're currently developing that app. So LBIL, there'll be a separate app, and all the features will be accessible right at the palm of your hands. But for now, till the time LBIL is getting commercially launched, Lymphomap is always here to assist NGOs and organizations with whatever requirements you need at your end. And of course, LBIL and Lymphomap, despite having separate apps, they're interlinked. So no matter what, it's not that they're two separate entities, even though they are fulfilling a cohesive mission. It's the same thing. It's just they're very much interlinked with each other. So don't think of it as two separate entities. And regardless, Lymphomap is always here for you guys. So thank you once again to Ashray and the TMC Clinical Hematology team. We're so thankful and honored that you guys chose our video conference platform. You know, we're constantly working really hard to make everything as easy to use, hassle-free, and seamless. You know, something that can be easily accessible for everyone. So we're so thankful that you guys chose us. And we look forward to collaborating on exciting projects in the future. And we're just always here, and we want to help both professionals and patients and anyone who's experienced the battle of cancer. So we're extremely honored to be able to do even 1 ounce for all of you, and to also be in the presence of survivors. So thank you so much, Ashray, and thank you for hosting your webinar on our platform.
So thank you, Atul. Thanks for the opportunity and the ALBIL you have looking for. So now we are going for the next thing, that the inaugural speech, and this is my privilege to ma'am, please do the honor, please, and for this collaboration of the Lymphomap as well as the Ashray to give the new age. Ma'am, please, over to you.
So good evening, everybody, and welcome. Neither is Ashray new nor is Lymphomap new. We've been working on both these, but we were doing it in different meetings. Today it's a collaboration, and it's nice that we've all come together and we have a platform that we can use. When we conducted meetings for Ashray, we had to kind of take in the timings and the days that were easy for many of its members, and often realized that people had to miss out on those meetings. Now, for an hour, I'm sure we can meet once in 3 months and everybody will be able to join. So, we know what Ashray is all about. We have not had meetings because of the corona pandemic for quite some time. And I will kind of just say that I'm happy that this has started, and we go on to the next part of the agenda. We all are, of course, extremely grateful to Achal for having hosted this particular meeting on the platform that painstakingly she has developed, and her entire team is with her, and I'm thankful to each one of the members of her team as well. So, Shushmita, back to you and take the Ashray agenda forward.
Thank you, ma'am. So, our next agenda is the vision and mission statement of Ashray. That the Ashray is working for last 2 and 3 years, and the active members also. So, I would like to request Mr. Shogato Haldar for the vision and mission statement of the Ashray. Please, sir.
Hello, Shushmita. Could you repeat? I think you have to mention they have to unmute their video conference.
Hello.
Yes, Shushmita.
Yes, Mr. Shogato Haldar, are you present in the session? Lopamudarti, can you help? Is he present in the session?
Can you hear me? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
I couldn't see him here. Actually, I
No,
don't see him in the list.
yeah, he's not there. Anyone with that name in the list.
No, I don't see him here.
So he's supposed to give the vision and mission statement
Okay,
according
so
to.
what I'll do is just the vision and the mission statement was kind of a revision for all of us
Mhm.
because
Yes.
we have been out of this group or the meeting for some time. But to start with, it is a group of patients and survivors and their caregivers who came together asking for what they can do and give back to the society, which perhaps helped them at the time of their need. And so it was a wish to give back to the society, and so they wanted to do something for the patients that we were seeing at that point of time and that we would see in future. And perhaps the most compelling thing that they all felt was maybe doctors do not have the kind of time that they would wish them to give for each of the visits that they come. And so we thought it would be a good idea, rather than doctors reducing the number of patients in the OPDs, we would take the help of our survivors and our patient caregivers, and they would become counselors and help us to continue the work that we were doing as the hospital grew in Kolkata. And many have come forward over the last 3.5, 4 years. And in the beginning, when the pandemic wasn't there, they were actually counseling over the telephone and physically. And this was possible because we had a list of their telephone numbers and the timings that were convenient to them. And patients who were starting treatment would be given a pamphlet and would contact one of the counselors who either stayed close by or whose timing suited them. And they developed a good bond and they helped the patients in their initial time of need. And again, when patients finish treatment, sometimes, the whole world opens up again and then they don't know what to do and how to go about their daily activities for a second time. And the everybody who's counseled our patients have done an extremely good job. Initially we did have some sessions as question answers to see what kind of answers would be given, and more or less we have contained the counseling to only what the patient needs, not from a medical point, not from where they should go or which doctor they should see or which hospital they should go to. It's only during the treatment what they need, what are the problems, and how they can be solved. So, with that first mission, I think we did go quite far before the pandemic, and maybe we will use this platform to actually discuss with each other and see how the next round of new patients can be helped. That work has been stopped for some time and we need to get back to it. So, as we go on through the agenda, we will discuss how we get that restarted. So, most important was the counseling. The second thing is, as a fallout, we decided that we would have um, foundation which would be called Yes to Lymphomas. And the idea was that patients coming with lymphoma to TMC sometimes have to be sent to either medical colleges or other government institutes, because medicines are free over there and treatments are free over there, and treatments are quite expensive in TMC. So with an aim that we can actually not or see everybody and treat everybody, which is a futuristic plan. It's nowhere near happening just now. But the hope is that anyone coming with lymphoma should be treated here, and if they need help, we should be able to help. And it becomes more realistic now because our hospital has been recognized for the Swasthya Sati, and we try to see that as many patients who can get cured are helped by this process of. So we are now getting a little bit of funding because of Swasthya Sati. We have patients who have been donating to Yes for Lymphoma, and we hope that once the pandemic is over, we can meet with friends, relatives, encourage people to donate, and more patients can be treated. So at the moment, these two remain our objective. Counseling is number one, number one, number one, the major job of each and everyone over here. And to some extent, we will see how we can go ahead with funding for Yes to Lymphoma. And we will have a short introduction, 2 sentences each. We start with the Ashray members, and then we will. Achal is already introduced to everybody, but her team members are here, and so we will have an introduction for her team also.
I'm starting with the Ashray member, ma'am, first. So, Lopamudra, first you can introduce yourself, then.
Yes. Good afternoon to everybody. I'm Lopamudra Datta. Can you hear me? Okay. So I am a teacher at the Future Foundation School, and I have been teaching since last 20 years. And that's it. I'm here. I want to give back to the society all the love and care that I got from TMC and ma'am.
Thank you, Lopamudra. The next can be Manas Dasgupta.
Hello. Can I, is it audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Am I
Yes.
audible?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. Special thanks to ma'am, Dr. Reena Nair, uh, for whom I think I'm here to join this conversation. I'm a lawyer by profession. I was encountered with lymphoma in 2017. My maintenance therapy has completed in 2020 February, and I'm really keen to help others in whatever way I will be assigned duties and responsibilities. I will happy to help everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Manoj Banerjee.
Good evening, everybody. I am Manoj Banerjee. In 2016, I was diagnosed by MAM CLL. After that, I received 6 cycles of BR. Now I am completely fine. Since I work in a NNC house in pharmaceutical selling, which requires a lot of traveling, by the grace of God and MAM, as well as my friends and relatives, I am really back to my normal life. I am really grateful to everybody. Now, what I decided that I am very much associated with Ashray and I also give back to the society as they require. Thank you.
Thank you again. Our next participant is Rajashi Banerjee.
I am Shanti Roy.
Okay, okay. You can continue. Yes. Bolun.
I am Shanti Roy.
Yes, you can continue.
Oh, thank you. I was diagnosed with lymphoma lymphoma in 2019, and my physician is Dr. Rina Nair, and radiologist is Rimpa Bosu. I got such advice and such help from both of them. I will be ever grateful to them. Now I am continuing my life. Professionally, I was a teacher, but now I am retired. But I am now doing my all household works, and I am member of 3 and 4 NGOs where I am working. I wish that the treatment I have got from TMC, I should be grateful to them.
Thank you, ma'am. So next we can go to Rajeshi Banerjee, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
My mother, Sudeshna, she has just finished her treatment for just about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And yes, I'm really grateful to Tata Hospital for looking after her, helping her. I live quite far away from her. So Dr. Nair and Dr. Radhakrishnan has been amazing and has, constantly been in touch. And that has helped me as a daughter who lives far away to have some mental, peace of mind. And, I'm just amazed how well, they have taken care of her. And I'm ever grateful to all of you for looking after my mom. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So our next participant is Sandeep Kumar Datta. Sir, please. You are muted, sir. You are muted. You have to unmute. Yes.
I think now you can hear.
Yeah,
Hello. Yeah. I am
Yes.
Sandeep Kumar Datta. I am a caregiver and spouse of Mrs. Lopamudra Datta. So since 2018, I am with the Ashray, and now we are trying our best for the counseling work, and we do together. And I wish that further we can do something more. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So Dhanish, now we can go with your participants as well from the Lymphomap team. So I don't know who were they. So can you call their name by?
Sure. So hope I am audible. So
Yes.
let me start with myself first. Okay. So hi, I am Dhanesh Kumar Prajapati. I am a chief AI engineer at Lymphomap. Okay. We are trying to build this video conference right now. It's in our beta mode at present. So with me, our team members right now with us, we have our chief software engineer Rishabh Pandey and chief front end engineer Prince Tiwari. So let me transfer the mic to Prince. So Prince, you can introduce yourself too. Thank you.
Yes, Prince Tiwari. I am working with past 3 years with front-end developer, and I am recently working with a video conference beta version. And yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so thanks, Prince. After Prince, we have Rishabh, our chief software engineer. Hello, Rishabh. Please, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. As Dhanesh already mentioned, my name is Rishabh Pandey, developer, and we are working on different functionalities to make the processes smooth on whole Lymphomap experience. Thank you.
Okay, so that's it from our end, Sushmita.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. Over to you.
So now we come to our clinical HEMA department with the clinical coordinators. So the first and foremost, by the help, without help with the Nilanjanadi and Shreya, I don't think that you guys, and we also meet you with you guys. So I do Nilanjanadi. So please introduce you and have a word.
Hi, I am Nilanjana Bharti. Last 5.5 years I am working with ma'am, and it's a pleasure for me to work with Ashray as well. Though the maximum members are not present today, but as a team we are working for last 3 years, and we are hoping many more activities to be done in the coming years.
Nilanjana, we want to see you also.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
Yes, now we can see you. That's nice.
Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes.
Okay,
So
that's
thank you.
all from my side.
Thank you.
Shreya is here.
So now Shreya is joining, I guess.
Okay, no, she's gone to the OPD. Once she comes back, we'll
Yes.
have an
Yeah,
introduction
sure,
for her.
sure.
In the meantime, we'll go ahead.
Yeah. So we have another member from our team, that is Payal Monroe. So she's a cost analyst of our team. So Payal, can you introduce yourself and on the video?
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, we can hear you also.
Yes, and I'm working at TMC for last 2 years, and I'm a new member, and I'm very much excited that I can work with you people. So that's all. Thank you.
Ma'am, we also wanted to see you.
Yes, yes, of course.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right now, yes, ma'am. It is good.
So we have another member. Because of the network issue, we are sharing the screen. So my colleague and is also from yourself.
Myself, Pranita Mishra. I am Clinical Research Plan Coordinator, working from 3 hours in TMC Kolkata. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we will go to Shutappa. I don't think she is not available now. So now we do with us two consultants. Dr. Jivan Kumar. So sir, please can you on the video can you say two words, please?
Hello. So I'm thankful to Ashray and Lymphomap for organizing this wonderful meeting. So I'm working with the Madam Dr. Nair in clinical oncology department. So previously we were doing these meetings as offline meetings. So this is the first online meeting. So so the main purpose of Ashray is, as Madam has already told, is that we have to do the counseling of the patients. So actually we are finding during OPD time that we are doing counseling, but it is not sufficient. We are doing only 5-10 minute counseling. Many things patient is not able to understand. So it is good that Ashray will give the same counseling, but with extended time, so they can spend more time and they can explain in their own language. This is a wonderful platform to explain the patients all the side effects and all the benefits of the treatment. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So next is
Thank you,
Arjit
sir.
sir, please.
Please,
Arjit sir also
Arjit
our
sir, also our
Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah.
We are in the same room. So
Yeah, sorry. Am I audible now? Yeah, okay. So, hi, this is Arijit. I joined last year. I was previously a fellow at the same institute. And honestly, I didn't know this was going on until about a few months back. I was very excited. And I think it's also very important that we extend it to other diseases. So, first, it's very enriching experience for me to know that a support group does exist. Because I think a month back, a patient just came to me and said that, can do you have a support group that could help my daughter? Because he said that I've learned to cope with my disease, but somehow my young daughter is finding it a big problem to understand that her daddy has a problem. So this, and I asked Shushmita, and I came to learn of this. So it's very enriching to know that this such a support system does exist, and I hope to learn more from here and be associated with all our patients and their and take their help in taking this forward.
Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir.
So
So our
last participant
last
is
participant
Shutappa.
is Shutappa. It's important. Shutappa. I don't think he is available now. So we should proceed with the.
Good evening. Good evening. I'm Shutapa Chatterjee, new member of this group, and it's my privilege to be part in this group. Thank you.
Thank you, Shutapa. So the last member of Ashray who founded the group is Shubhajit Banerjee. So Shubhajit Da, we are keeping you the last because you were the first of the Ashray group. So please, few words from you. Online, Danish.
Yeah, Shubhajit is online, but I think yeah, but he has muted and paused his video, like
Okay, maybe he's not in front of his
yeah,
laptop.
could
So
be.
we will
Yeah.
proceed with that. So our next agenda is the existing activity and challenges of what Ashray members has faced. So that will be a presentation, and that will be taken on by Lopa Mudradi. So Lopa Mudradi, you can take on from this.
Thank you. So I will go forward. I'm just sharing my screen. I hope it's visible.
Yes.
Lopa Mudradi, we also recording, so there will be no issue. They can after that.
Okay.
We
Now
can
is
see.
it visible?
Yes.
Yes, yes,
Yes. Can you see now?
Yes.
yes.
Sure. Thank you so much because I am unable to see this. So I'm just
Mhm.
loading.
Sure.
Is my first slide visible to you?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. A very good afternoon to all present here. Dr. Reena, Dr. Jeevan, Dr. Orijit Nag, and the entire team from TMC and the team of Lymphomap. Thank you so much for this platform. So today I shall be talking about the activities of Ashray done so far. Ashray, Yes to Lymphoma, a group of cancer survivors, patients, caregivers, a group mentored by the most eminent doctors of Tata Medical Center, no other than Dr. Reena and her team. As you can see in this slide, Mr. Shubhajit Banerjee and Mr. Arnab Chakraborty, they were the pioneers who had conceived of this philanthropic platform. They approached Dr. Reena Nair, and under her able guidance, Ashray was born on 21st September 2018. A number of enthusiastic survivors, patients, and caregivers felt extremely motivated and they joined Ashray immediately. And Ashray was ready to go. Here are a few photographs from 2018 World Lymphoma Day. Dr. Maman Chandi addressing us on that day. Uh, the people who had joined uh, us on that day at Premashraya. And yes, when things were grim and grey, ma'am was always there. Ma'am was always there for us. So are all the other doctors. They are always there for us. The main objectives of Ashray: to provide emotional support to patients and their families, counseling patients and caregivers in non-medical areas as per guidance provided by the doctors, fundraising to provide some financial relief to the underprivileged patients, and motivating the patients and raising their spirits, enabling them to cope with the trauma. We actually decided to keep things simple at first. That is, to begin with counseling. Sounds simple, but it's not really simple because the word cancer has a devastating effect on a person. It shatters the self confidence and invokes fear and apprehension. Hand holding at this stage goes a long way to help the person overcome his trauma and fear. When a survivor counsels a patient, the latter is strongly motivated as the survivor has traversed the same path. So, This type of counseling becomes much more effective and inspires the patient to fight back. And as I said, the counseling would always pertain to non-medical areas for the members of Ashray. So after several meetings with Dr. Reena, Dr. Bhabe and Dr. Jeevan, we prepared a list of frequently asked questions. We were also guided by the doctors regarding the method to be followed while counseling patients. Pamphlets were created with our names, phone numbers, and kept with ma'am and also at the reception desk to draw the attention of patients who might require our help. And soon a number of queries poured in, and we embarked on our new path of counseling. From time to time, we would give feedback to Nilanjana Bharati, Shreya Das, and other coordinators. Some of us even made home visits. In fact, I had come to TMC, I remember, to meet a patient who I was counseling, and she wanted to see me at that point of time. It was a great bonding we shared at that day. So, this was our journey, and fundraising is another immense concern for us after counseling, particularly for underprivileged patients who find it difficult to continue their treatment due to lack of funds or money. Here are a few photographs of when we met. So you can see us, we met quite often. We met with all the doctors, we sat down, we decided, and that was how we began to take the group forward. Glimpses of World Lymphoma Day 2019 at Premashraya. We find here panel discussions had taken place. Eminent doctors, nutritionists, counselors, they interacted with the patients and they answered their queries. And all these were done to increase the awareness about lymphoma. That day was Ashray's first birthday too. A number of active members came together to plan something special. A designer cake with the logo of Ashray was ordered. We also put up a small musical play under the direction of Mr. Shogato Haldar, who we can see in this picture. It was great fun rehearsing for the skit. As you can see, this is the entire team who had put up the skit, and the skit was all about instilling confidence in the patients. However, we were planning to add more value to our group through these following activities like arranging for blood donation camps, increasing fundraising activities, physically meeting patients or caregivers at Tata Medical Center, providing help to patients who are alone or aged and they need some assistance for reaching TMC or after they reach TMC. And also to launch a website to spread awareness, motivate each other, enable patients and caregivers to stay connected. However, the COVID situation negatively impacted on our activities. Most of them were temporarily suspended. As you can see, over the phone counseling continues. Some funds have also come in, but all other activities had to be halted, at least temporarily. From here, we need to know how to take our group forward. And before I end sharing, I would like to thank the entire team of Tata Medical Center, the team of clinical hematology headed by Dr. Reena, and the entire Lymphomap team. Thank you.
Thank you, Lopamudraji.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So now we are in the important page of this session. So the next we will proceed with the on-campus counseling of the patients in our TMC under the guidelines TMC. So on this note, I would request ma'am to take on this and how we'll proceed with the counseling thing in the pandemic era or post-pandemic era. So ma'am, it's over to you. Ma'am, can you hear us?
Yes, Shushmita.
Yes, ma'am. So we are discussing on the page where we need to conduct that the in the future how we going to the counseling of the patients in the TMC campus. So in the TMC guidelines, according to TMC guidelines, so I would request you to take on this.
Okay, so this is something that has taken a backstage mainly because of the pandemic, and I would kind of be hesitant that people coming to counsel patients should be in the midst of in a hospital where the chances of getting an infection are high. So we've put it in the back burner for now, but I think if the third wave doesn't hit and we go through and the summers come in, then I have been looking at and identifying a place, and we will, of course, apply for hospital administrative permissions. So, which means that we will have to have some kind. Once we start that process, we can't have a desk where it is empty on some days. So we will need a list of people who actually have that kind of a time. Maybe we can have it for all new patients twice a week, or to start with only once a week, and half day, which means the lymphoma patients are there between 10 and 4, and somebody can come between 12 to 2, which would cover a little bit of your lunchtime, and speak to patients exactly as you all have been speaking on the phone. And we will make it into groups. That means 3 or 4 patients at a time, and we'll see what kind of an appointment system or a area which where you can speak to them. We don't want a crowd there also. So that is something that we are working on, and this will happen only once the pandemic is completely over, all the people are vaccinated, and we know it is safe for the counselors, because we have to make sure that no counselor is hassled because of the infections. So I will only say that this is a plan, but it is in the back burner. So Sushmita, you can go on to the next, because I want to get the old counseling thing started, and whether that is done through a pamphlet or whether that is done through emails or now through this platform is something we can have a discussion on.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So now we are in the page of setup working group. So previously we have a Ashray members, and every members has the designated responsibilities according to the areas for counseling and according to their responsibilities. They have to report all these things. So there is a patient. There are a number of patients we go through that they don't have any fund for PET CT or something like other cost effective things. So if AS2 lymphoma come forward and take the initiative as they are going to, because due to COVID it has been somewhat stop or it has been somewhat stopped. So we look forward that ES2 lymphoma come and will join to the patients who are helpless or who can't go through the treatment process. So I would like to request every one of you Ashray members, if you come forward and take the responsibilities individually, so that we can go through the process. Anyone can take you from this from your side.
So funding is not going to be easy at the moment. I will just make 2 comments, because I think the pandemic has kind of swallowed a lot of funds, and most people who would have otherwise been very philanthropists also may find it hard to support patients. Like I already said, Swasthya Sathi has come into our hospital, and that's a great help. And so even if we take a little time to start the funding thing, I don't think we should worry too much about it, because at least some amount of funds to come into our hospital. But if anybody has, someone who wants to donate for a cause in the family, a birthday, a marriage, anniversary, and wishes to donate, then I think Nilanjana can help you with the forms that are available, which will have to be filled and sent, even if it is an online transaction to Yes to Lymphomas. So I guess Nilanjana will be able to tell us a little more later. But I am not too worried about the funding because things have already started coming in. So we must stick to our agenda of counseling, and each one of you should be able to counsel. And somewhere we will have to put in the data also. That means if you take a phone call or if you meet a person, and maybe one of you can take the initiative to actually record how many patients have been helped. Initially maybe two or three in the entire group. Eventually it may be one per counselor, and eventually it may be 2 to 3 per month per counselor, and we would like to see a graph which is actually growing. And so every 3 months when we meet, we can have some idea of how much we have improved on what we were doing previously.
Okay, ma'am. So, any comments from Ashray members, please?
Can I speak?
Sure.
Yes, sure.
Yes. What I was thinking that let there be a clear understanding of the responsibility to be given to the Ashray members, and for that some kind of training is also required. Because to be frank with you, the personally I'm not been able to understand the responsibility of a Ashray member. Suppose what kind of service we can render to the patient, there should be a clear understanding of that.
So I think Lopa has done the maximum counseling, or she is one of the prominent counselors. So I
Agree.
will ask her to give you examples of what she has done, and
Correct,
to me
correct,
that
correct.
is most important: counseling another person who is undergoing treatment.
Absolutely, that is required. That is required, and so that we can take it from there. Because what personal experience we had, we of course how to share and to what extent we should share, that needs to be demarcated.
Okay, Manoj Babu, I will meet you and explain everything. Then it will
Thank you.
be easier to exchange.
Thank you, Mr. Doctor.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that
will
will
just
be really good. I think at some point, face to face also should not be obsolete. We must be able to get together and discuss.
Any comments from any other member, please? Or how do you want to continue in this pandemic situation from any Ashray member? Because it's your platform, you need to vocal, please.
So I think we accept that at the moment counseling remains our number one objective, and almost everyone agrees on that. In the initial times we have had some discussions when the counseling session started, and as the new members join, I think it is a good idea that one of you takes charge of actually making them understand the area of counseling and areas in which we would definitely not like advice to be given to patients. And counseling will start with counseling for new members, and of course carry on with counseling for the patients. So with that, Sushmita, we are coming to the end of our time also.
Yes, yes, yes. So we are making a closing note if you guys are comfortable with that. So I would like to request Nilanjana Di for the closing note, please.
Yes, am I audible?
Very well.
Okay. Ma'am, So from today onwards, counseling is our first priority, and for the previous planned activities, we will start later on. So I would like to thank the esteemed member of Team Ashray for their continued support, association, and cooperation with us towards this noble cause. We sincerely hope our relationship and ties grow stronger and deeper in days to come, so that we reach out to people who require our help. And I would also like to thank Miss Achal and total Lymphomap team for providing this platform to conduct the webinar in a safe manner. Thank you.
Tha- Thank you, Nilanjana Di.
Sushmita, since we have 1 minute, I will take advantage of that 1 minute.
Yes,
So
yes,
one
sure,
is
sure.
we will since this was a trial run and Danish had told us that there will be teething
Some,
problems. People
yes.
who could not join, I think you can write a mail to them and tell them they have not missed anything and we are working on it. And the next time we will be able to have all of them into the meeting. The second thing is we did have a pamphlet, and I think we can work on that and see that we make some more available with the new details, and so that new patients coming to the OPD can be handed over the pamphlets and the counseling work can be started, which means responsibility of getting the timings and the telephone numbers and the availability of the Ashray members is something that we will wait to get from all of you, and then we will make these pamphlets available. And the third, of course, is for new Ashray members. I will request those who have been members for a long time, please help them understand what questions, what answers. And we did have a plan of having maybe about 100 questions asked by patients and the answers to be given by Ashray members. And so if we can have that in a format that we can maybe at some point of time when the patient platform is available, we will also have a volunteers platform over there and can have those question answers as frequently asked questions to volunteers available for them. So that will be another area where we can work while the platform gets ready. So with that, I am extremely grateful and thankful to all of you for coming here, and we will end the meeting thanking the Lymphomap team for having given us this platform and this opportunity. Thanks Sushmita for doing the meeting, and thanks Nilanjana for working for the last 2.5 years on this project.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
So thank you all. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Thank you.